Welcome back to another episode of Walter's Rear Window. Today we are going to be talking about our pets' origin stories. We are going to hear about Walter himself, as well as my other cat Morton and Snuggle.
All right, episode 8.
Yes, look at us. We're recording episode 8. This is crazy. Today we're going to be talking about our pets, right?
Yeah, we're going to be talking about our pets. And then we're also going to give a little bit of recap on what we've been watching Olympic-wise.
Yes. Okay. Do you want to start or do you want me to start?
You should start because you have Walter.
Okay. So the titular Walter from Walter's Rear Window. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to start. I'm going to do it chronologically because I have my two cats, Mr. Morton and Walter. So I will give you the background on both of them. Let's see. Morton was my first cat, my first of my own cat. I had a lot of cats in my family, but when I went to college, I lived with, after my freshman year, we were required to live in the dorm. I lived with 5 other people in a house, and it was hectic and crazy. It was a great time, but it was hectic and crazy. And I lived there for 2 years, and it obviously was not a place that was great for pets. So I was like, oh, I'm just going to wait until I have my own place. Then my senior year of college, rather, Wyatt and I decided to move out and get our own apartment. And when we did, we had so much space. We were like, oh my gosh, we should get a cat. So as we often do, we were like, we'll just go look. We're just going to go to the SPCA and look. We're just going to look around and see. This is why I can't go to animal shelters. Because we're just going to check. So we go to the Richmond, at this time I was living in Richmond, Virginia. And so we go to the Richmond SPCA, which is animal rescue. And we ask them, we're like, we're looking for a kitten. I want a kitten. This is going to be so much fun. I'm so excited. We go, they introduce us to the cutest kitten I've ever seen in my life. And it's so sweet, but they're like, it is guaranteed to die within the next 2 years. Because it has feline needs. So if you get this cat, you cannot have any other cats that don't have feline needs, and you have to know that it's going to die in 2 years. And I was like, that is going to break my heart. I can't handle that. And so I was like, okay. And they were like, well, that's the only kitten we have, so you're going to have to look at the adult cats. We're like, okay, yeah, sure. So we walked into one of the petting rooms where they had cats.
Hold on. What? They just told you that this cat's gonna die in 2 years?
Yeah.
Was there no surgery or anything like that that could help it?
So there are a couple of cats. This is really common at animal shelters. Cats that have feline AIDS, feline HIV is super, super contagious. And the cats, they will die from it. So it's just a matter of time. It's kind of like a ticking time bomb. I had 2 friends in college who adopted 2 sibling cats who both had feline AIDS.
Yeah.
And they were so sweet. They were so cute. They died within 3 years. And it was heartbreaking because I was close with them too. Yeah. And so I was like, I can't go through that. That's so much. And there's just it would break my heart, especially if I can't have another cat that would be there when it died. I just would be so sad. So we said, okay, let's go look at the adult cats. So we went into the adult cat viewing room and Morton, it was funny. They had, at the time, Morton's name at the shelter was Domingo, which I thought was a dope name, actually. Both of my cats' previous names were really cool. But it said, they had a sign on the wall and it was cats likes and dislikes. And Morton's likes and dislikes were dislikes not being the center of attention, likes attention. And so we walked in and I was like, oh, that's funny. So immediately his little bio made me laugh and I was like, oh, I want that cat. I like that cat. But Morton wanted nothing to do with me and everything to do with Wyatt. He was obsessed with Wyatt. Wyatt stepped foot in the room and Morton was like, oh, you're my friend. Oh, we're going to be close. And Morton is extremely picky. If you know him, he is not a people pleaser. He will tell you how he feels about you. He is not going to, I don't know. He's a sassy little cat and he does not like everyone at all. He dislikes most people. Probably myself included. Love Morton, but him and I are whack.
Morton likes me though.
Morton loves Claire. Claire comes over and Morton's like, oh my god, best day ever. Yeah, no, there have been a couple, you and one other person have ever connected with Morton, and that's Wyatt's friend Frankie. Wyatt's friend Frankie, him and Morton connect so well in the way that you and him do. But Morton's just like that. He picks people. And so he picked Claire and he picked Wyatt. And it was just like, I can't separate these two. Like, by the time we were about to leave, like, Wyatt and Morton were best friends already. And so I know, he was so cute. So, and Morton was very small when we got him. He was a year old. So he was young and like very, very skinny. But he had like crazy jumps. So when we signed the papers and we decided to take him home, they gave us one of those temporary cat carriers, which kind of looks like, almost like a Taco Bell box. And Morton was not into being in a box. So he kept like jumping out. The top would open up and he would like jump out, you know, like an orca whale like comes out of the water. Like he was doing that every time they tried to get him in the box. And I was like, I hope we didn't make a mistake. I hope this cat isn't insane. So we took him home. And we were like, and he immediately ran under the bed and like didn't want to come out. And we were like, oh no, like he's going to be so scared. It's going to be a whole thing, like a long time for him to get used to us, all this stuff. So we were like, okay, we're just going to go grab dinner and then come back. By the time we came back, Morton was like, what's up? This is my house. Like he was like, hey, how's it going? What's up, roomies? And was like very comfortable and like became very good. He's a really well-trained cat. I love Morton. Right off the bat, he was excellent, which made me think that by the time I was ready to get a second cat, that was going to be so easy because Morton was so easy. So by the time I got a second cat, I was in Los Angeles. We had moved from Richmond to Los Angeles and we were living in Venice Beach and we had so much space again. We're like, oh, we have so much space. Like I have this nostalgic want to have cats. Like I want Morton to have a friend. So we were like, let's think about getting a second cat. And when we started thinking about it, we looked at the animal shelter that we actually got my childhood dog from. And her name was BB. And it was from a place called the Lang Foundation in Los Angeles. But this was during COVID. So they weren't allowing anybody to come in and see any of the animals. They were basically essentially only allowing like a foster to adopt program. So I was like, okay, I mean, it kind of works out because I want to test how the cat does with Morton. I want to see how it goes. I want to like make sure. So we signed on. I basically saw a photo of Walter online from the Lang Foundation and he looked so sad. I will post this photo. Like I need to show you before and after because he looks so sad and so old and so cranky. And we picked him up and I signed the papers to foster to adopt. So I basically was like, yes, we'll foster this cat for 3 months. And we took him home with us and I loved him so much. He was great. Like we took him out. He was getting used to us. He was terrified of Morton. And he was not well trained. This cat was feral, like feral. And it was to the point where he was feeling like so food insecure, which is crazy because like we were doing everything we could to make him feel safe because he was just like tearing our house apart. Like he was so anxious. He was such an anxious cat. And so he could open cabinets. He like could tear into things. Like that cat is smart. He is a street cat. And Morton is not, and Morton instantly disliked him, was like, no, I'm not a fan. But he was so sad. Like he was so like, and I was like, no, like you can't be mean to him. And we actually had to give Walter a bath within the first week of getting him because he had fleas from the shelter. And I was like, oh, this is disgusting. He's going to get Morton fleas. We need to wash him. Like, this is nasty. We need to get him taken care of. But he hated it. He was so upset. And he was like yelling from the bathroom. And it was like this horrible sound. I was like, this is terrible. I promise you're almost done. But like Morton sprinted to the door and was like yelling for us to open the door. And he was like pissed when he came in because he thought we were like hurting Walter. And I was like, no, 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 no. So like they secretly love each other, but they definitely have a rivalry. So yeah, those are my origin stories for my two cats. They're both shelter cats. Walter is now 6, I think. Morton just jumped onto my chair, actually. And Morton is now 5. Morton's a year younger than Walter. So they're both, I mean, they're not like, I mean, I call them roommates. I say that they're indifferent towards one another. Yeah, they're brothers for sure. But yeah, what's your origin story?
My or Snuggles?
Snuggles. You're in Snuggles' origin story.
So I have a bunny. Her name is Snuggles. Snuggles is a Florida bunny. She was born and raised for most of her life in Florida.
Oh, love that.
Her birthday is July 4th, so
that was so
she's
cute.
very American.
So patriotic.
So patriotic, even though she hates July 4th because she's scared of fireworks.
Aww. Cruel, evil joke from the universe.
So we, or at least my mom and I, we are pretty sure that Snuggle was a Easter bunny, and then because originally she was like a Easter bunny for a little girl or something.
Oh, like a present, an Easter present. Oh wow.
No, not a present, like just a Easter bunny. So this is some white people shit that is just kind of a little bit disgusting, especially in the South. So some people will buy rabbits as Easter decorations, like live rabbits.
Oh, what?
Yeah, this is
That's
thing.
crazy.
So like in the South, some like PetSmart and stuff like that, they will sell live rabbits around Easter's, and people will buy them as decorations.
That's crazy. So you think she was a decoration?
Possibly, we don't know, but she was with like a little girl who couldn't take care of her, and the family couldn't take care of her, so they gave her to one of my mom's friend who had 2 dogs, and Snuggle was just like stuck in a big cage all the time. And I guess like my mom and I, like, we just felt bad for her, so during Christmas one day we just like took her in because my mom's friend was like going through a divorce and whatnot and couldn't take care of a rabbit.
Yeah.
And so we just took Snuggle in, and after like literally 10 days we were like, all right, Snuggle's never going back. Snuggle is ours now.
I love that.
She was so cute, like especially so when we first got Snuggle was like scared of everything because she's a bunny, and it was like there was a thunderstorm, and then Snuggle jumped out of her cage and hid under my mom's bed.
Oh my god, that's so sad.
We woke up and we saw that Snuggle was out of her cage, and we were so scared, but we were like, where are you? And then we found her and under my mom's bed, and then we like slowly but surely, after a couple of years, we started to like coax her and help her come out of her shell. Yeah. And now she's the spoiled diva that she is.
I love it. I love a diva. She has such personality. She is an excellent rabbit.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure I know in Oregon and in most states, it's you're not allowed to sell rabbits anymore during Easter time. But I know a lot of states, especially in the South, they still do sell rabbits during Easter time, and people buy them as decorations. Bunnies are not decorations.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They're real animals with real feelings, and rabbits can die from getting scared. So, like, they're not like a pet for children. Like,
yeah, it's a real responsibility.
You should keep a kid like as far away from a bunny as possible because like they get scared.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's crazy. She's so sweet now, though, and she's been with you. How long have you had her now?
For at least like 5 or 6 years now.
That's crazy. How old was she when you got her?
Like I don't know, around 1-ish, maybe like before 1, yeah, like 1 or 2-ish, yeah.
That's awesome. That's sweet. That's a long time.
It's
funny. I always I am so bad whenever people ask me how old my cats are. I keep the age that I got them at in my head, and I never add to it. So every single year, everyone's like, "How old are Morton?" I'm like, "They're 3 and 4." And I'm like, "No, they're not. They're 7 and 8. They're old cats."
Yeah.
But yeah, no, in my brain, they're always going to be the age they were when I got them.
Yeah. And to segue a bit, Snuggle was watching the Olympics with me.
Oh.
Snuggle, she likes the boats. For some reason.
The boats? She was into the opening ceremony?
She was into the opening ceremony. And I had her on my lap, and she, her little eyes, she was, darting as the boats just, kind of pass by. She was just but she doesn't like Lady Gaga. When Lady Gaga started to sing, she, ran off.
She was like, no, thank you. No, thank you to pre-recorded events. Yeah. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, my God. I thought the opening ceremony was so cool. I really liked it. I thought it was a lot. It was, I don't know, there was just so much going on, Yeah. And also all in the pouring rain. That was the craziest part to me.
Yeah, it was, what is it called? Poetic?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, what was your favorite part about it? Mine was Celine, definitely.
I think
her sing.
Yeah, I really liked the the rock show on the building with all the Marie Antoinette, like that was cool.
Oh,
I thought
yeah.
that was a ton of fun. I thought it was so visually interesting. And then, yeah, Wyatt's cousin actually competed this year in shot putting for Team USA, and
really?
he ended with silver this year. And I believe first place was also from Team USA.
Yeah.
So all good things. I mean, like it's been kind of a crazy year. Shot putting is like it's like track and field. It's the ball, throwing the ball.
Oh,
kind of like
okay.
It's like javelin but a ball, and it's really really heavy.
Okay.
But it's funny, like, because also like all shot putters are like huge, like they're really big and muscular because it's like so heavy to throw, but the ball looks so teeny tiny in their hands. So that was kind of crazy. And then yeah, I mean, just the commentary on the gymnastics is so funny to me because like you'll watch them do the most insane thing in the world and they'll have like a little wobble and they'll just be like, oh, if only she hadn't. And I'm like,
okay, which commentary were you watching? Were you watching the NBC World Feed or the E special commentary?
NBC.
Okay.
NBC,
I was
yeah.
watching the World Feed.
So we listened to different...
We listened to different ones.
I see.
Mine was very pleasant. We had a British lady and a British gentleman commenting. I was like, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't unpleasant. It was just like I sit there and they're like,
yeah,
she didn't nail that one. I'm like,
so
I
people
don't know.
have issues with Laurie Hernandez, who was commentating the women's event.
Okay.
I don't know, because I heard her commentary for the team finals, but that's about it. People think that she's like too like overly nice and doesn't really know a lot of the technical terminologies. But other people argue that, well, she's there for the people that don't know.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Like, make it more accessible to like the people, because like me, I don't know much about gymnastics. I think it's awesome to watch them compete because I think they're incredible athletes. But like, do I know how they're scoring points? No. So like, is it helpful for someone to like, I don't know, for someone to just talk about it like while I'm listening is nice. Yeah. I don't know. And also, like, just to have, like, a little bit of positivity is not a bad thing, you know?
Yeah, I get that. I don't know. I'm pretty indifferent towards her. I think she's fine, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You could go either way.
No, I prefer no commentary.
You're like, you don't want anyone talking.
I don't want anyone talking.
That's fair. I mean, I think that like it's like the least biased way to judge something, in my opinion, because then like something is not immediately in your head. Like it's really just what you think, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I watch table tennis a lot. Like that's probably my favorite sport to watch during the Olympics, especially the summer ones.
Yeah.
And I prefer it if they don't talk. If there's like no commentary,
just
like,
let me watch the game. Yeah,
let me watch the game, because like I don't need like you extra telling me. Actually, any sport that's like a one and done, like a ball sport or like you know, like swimming or like whatnot. Yeah, I don't need you to commentary, because I can see like the person won. You know, you put a ball in the goal, you win a point. Like, you swim the fastest, you win. Yeah. Like, I don't need, just let me watch. I don't need, like, some fluffies about, like, this person's backstory from, like, 10 years ago. I don't need that.
That should totally be optional. Like, that's true, actually. I agree. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't have thought about it before, because, like, I enjoy the commentary, but, like, at the same time, like, I see what you're saying, and, like, it should just be an option to not have it on, like, if you just want to watch it, you know?
Yeah, so like I tuned in a little bit to swimming. I had to turn it off because whoever was commentating was like way too pro USA, and like I mean, first of all, we fucking choked this Olympics. Like the US men's swimmers in particular, we sucked.
Oh no!
Okay? It was the women's swimmer who was getting all the gold medals.
Love that.
All the medals. So
yes,
like
girl.
I don't know, whatever. But anyways, and like Michael Phelps, he gave a quote earlier this like a couple of days ago, was like, "This was the most disappointing result."
Oh,
just
no.
like because they did, like, for a while we were like down to Australia and down to China and blah whatever. And so, like,
that's so funny. He's like, no, I'm disappointed, Dad.
I'm disappointed. and he's disappointed. It's okay, Phelps. You got until 2020
Exactly
to get your kid in the water.
Come on, let's go.
Yeah, but
Get
anyways,
swimming.
yeah, like I had to turn off the swimming because the commentary was just so obnoxious to me. Like I don't need to like you yelling in my ear. Like I can see that person crosses the line first. They won.
Yeah, I think that's true. Like I think it should totally be optional. That's a good point. But so far it's been like a really interesting time. I mean, like women's gymnastics were insane. I watched a little bit of the pommel horse guy.
Oh,
Which is kind of
Steven?
crazy. Yeah.
From Worcester, Mass. Yeah. Worcester.
He's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. He is.
Yeah,
from there.
that's where I'm
God.
from. Well, not where I'm from, like an hour from where I'm from.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so funny.
It's spelled out WORCHES, POR or TER. And if you say Worcester to those guys,
You'll
they
get
will
kicked
kill
out.
you. It's Worcester. Massachusetts in general just have like the weirdest like, pronunciations. Do you prefer a opening ceremony or an ending one?
You know, this was the first. I'm gonna be like totally honest. This was the first year I ever paid attention to the opening ceremony.
Same.
Like I haven't ever I've only ever really seen the closing ceremony. So like I feel like I have to say closing, but I really enjoyed the opening ceremony this year.
I think they did a good job making them go on the water because that was like something new and kind of fun, and I wanted to see like how that would work.
Totally.
It was so funny to see some of like the teams are like cruise ships while others were on like speedboats.
It was funny to see the differences in the teams for sure. And like I had fun watching it, but yes, I am looking forward to the closing ceremony. I think that will be cool.
I was like, that is so wrong. if I was on a team on those like tiny like speedboat, I would be like pissed. I'm like,
I know,
I
same.
want to be on a cruise ship.
Give me the cruise ship. Yeah, exactly.
And then like especially if it was raining and like those speedboats can't hold much water.
No.